and co-creating something. And the sun in combination with these other forces, and there are things that have not been detected. And we would say this, it seems to us that back in 1982 it was, that your astronomers cited something that was, again, as the size of what you were saying, and that was projected then to be the first sighting of Planet X or Nibiru.
This is the same one.
Same one, yes, of course.
What happened was that they
had a blackout on it for a long time, number one.
They identified it, at least publicly, as a very far away new galaxy forming. They were able to look at it from infrared back then, but it was difficult to get a good infrared detector, but we have it now. But right after the 80s, sometime after the 80s, another scan was done, and someone looked at the same object and realized that it was about 15% larger and had not moved in its position. And that's what really got them, because if it didn't move in its position, and it's 15% larger, it headed this way.
Well, think about this. No matter what you are encountering on these speculations of what is going on in the heavens, we guarantee you that if anyone put the truth anywhere on the internet, it would disappear within a few minutes. Remember that. And that you say we have the capability of doing this and this and this. That's what they tell you they have the capability of doing. It is so complex. And whatever's on the internet often is only 1/100th of the story. Again, when the truth is put out, the site is shut down and deleted. Often. Material disappears. Because it is so out there. So far out there. There will be leaks. There will be more and more leaks. There will be people who will break away, who have been deeply immersed in the system and have been wondering what to do. And as the people start getting more uproaring and rebellious and clamoring for things, there will be more what you call them, not turncoats, whistleblowers, that's the word. And the whistleblowers will also be telling their stories that will make all the stories of all the books that are out there now from the whistleblowers look like Little Bo Peep. Do you understand? There will be some very shocking things, not just scandalous and things of betrayal and all of this and bizarre, but we are talking about people who have been banding together and want to tell the truth, and they know that their lives would be in danger if they wrote one article on the internet, because they all have been chipped and tracked. So there is movements within different types of consciousness. We'll say this too, that some of the people that have been transported through time, some of the people that have been put in machines and then their soul transmitted into another being, etc., many were lost in this process. Which, when that happens to you, you can either lose your mind, or you become a national security risk and you are isolated to certain work zones underneath the earth or off the earth. But there are those who became, in your terms, superhuman, we'll put that in quotes, meaning that their experiences totally changed their neurological patterns, and they have a wizardry that the makers of the technology and their handlers do not have, and they have developed an underground, and they operate on a very high frequency. They are, in their terms, freaks, because they have experienced something that is science fiction to others, and now they have minds that have been open to something that they don't understand. But they are planning to step down. And they know that to step down what they know and to reveal it to people, to take it from a high complex frequency and to make it simple and bring it out. And there are plans within plans behind the scenes from many groups to, let's say, start playing the harmonica in public. And it will come out in fast and furious. George, can you comment on that from an astrological point of view?
Well, again, not only is Uranus going into Aries, which would step up the dissemination of truth, or the confidence. Aries is a sign that deals with our confidence.
Courage to do it.
Courage.
And think about it coming out of the 12th house. It's like, I'm starting over again. Who cares?
Right.
I'm doing it.
It's like this, the sense of
freedom.
Freedom and spontaneous. Let's just do it.
And we'll say this too, that for many of these people, this is their healing along the lines of time, because they have been on the lines of time in this lifetime with this body. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
So everyone's healing along the lines of time is different, and they have done things you cannot even imagine. And so they have to unburden their physical selves and contribute their story, which is so bizarre. So bizarre. Continue, George.
And so then, coupled with that, Jupiter is going in as well.
Oh, yes. So that makes it a big publishing event.
Yes, exactly. Jupiter gets the word out.
Let's just blab it out everywhere. Yes.
And what gets blabbed out is the other polarity in it is that Saturn and Pluto are still in a square. It's tied to that Saturn-Pluto square, and that is the whole Saturn authority.
Teacher,
get
your lesson.
And then Pluto. This is the coming out of what's been suppressed or whatever's been.
Yes, and then Saturn in Libra is karmic. Okay. Karmic in relationships. Do you understand? So in some level, some of the things that are going to happen are going to free the collective of their karma. So each time each of you does your own personal little bit and crack your nuts and eat them and do whatever, but it adds to the momentum of big things that eventually will really, really unlock some things that humanity will ideally rise to on the understanding level, on the understanding. There will be many who will just be dealing, and they'll be built up so much detritus that they'll be digging themselves out from being buried in. But we count on many of you being stabilizers, and let's say, reaping the benefits of your investments, and contributing, of course. Because those investments would make you billionaires, and once you are a billionaire, you can give it away all you want. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Or inspire others. Anything else, George?
And one thing I want to say is that, in the P Times article that I wrote, I talked about the last time we had a similar pattern like this was, in 1931, which was the Depression. And the Dust Bowl and Hitler and Mao Zedong and all those things were kind of like starting to unravel. And it was a heavy time, but one of the things is what you've been saying tonight too, is that having compassion and coming together, cooperating, working together. That was one of the things that came in the Depression too, is that people rallied. They rallied and found support and created support networks, and somehow they were able to rise above whatever the difficulty was.
We'd like to remind you of another influence that you are under. You are under the cycle of the Venus occultation. Remember that?
Oh yes, that comes up in 2012.
2012. It happened in 2004? Mm-hmm. Yes. And you years ago wrote about when it happened in the 1870s or something. Mm-hmm. The inventions and the things, the light bulb came out and all these things. And so you are in that 8-year window of brilliance, do you understand? Mm-hmm. Of from many points of view. From many points of view. So sometimes we emphasize the difficulties, not to scare you, but just to keep your feet on the ground and to let you know this is serious business. And then you would be not very happy with us if we said to you, oh, it's all sweet and lovely and love, and the world's falling apart around you. We weren't explaining what was going on. So we give you all the sides of it, and then there are so many more, but we ask you to understand not only what is going on, but why. And we believe that you do. We believe that you understand that why humans are here and how unconscious so many of them are, and how they just get themselves into one big mess after another without clear thinking. good heart sometimes, but just sloppy thinking.